I'm Ralph with 13 Peppers, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to take those pods you turned into powder and make them into a tasty sauce. Now today's sauce is going to be an interesting sauce because we're not going to be using any fresh peppers or frozen peppers. All our ingredients today are going to be dried ingredients. And one of the things that I do and why I have a bunch of dry ingredients and dry peppers is through my seasons and the amount of peppers I have 2 stand-up freezers which I do store peppers in, but the amount of peppers that I grow, that's just not enough room, and I need to store the peppers I'm not using. So I go ahead and I dehydrate the pods, I store some of them whole, I store some of them crushed, and then other ones I turn into powder. And to give you an example, this is what I have left of my Portugal peppers powder that I have. This is a habanero, this is a red-yellow mixture. I have the wonderful Reaper powder, and nice thing with the powders is you can go ahead and take a little bit of this, add this into any soup, sauce, or anything like that to give it a nice extra kick. But you're able to powder down any pepper you want, especially give you different flavors and types when you want to add to a sauce or a seasoning. Like here's another one. This is a Bondemal Jacobs. This is a red-orange mixture. And then I have this interesting one here. Now this is my monkey face pepper. Very, very interesting pepper. I kind of wish I grew this one last year, but unfortunately the seeds that I had, they were all eaten by rabbits early on, so I wasn't able to get any more in the season. So this year, hopefully I have new peppers, but yeah. Very, very interesting pepper. Got some nice citrusy taste in here, but yeah, it's a nice way to store the peppers. Let's put all the ingredients together and start making the sauce. Now let's go ahead and add the ingredients to the pot. So what we're going to do, first of all, is add our chilies. I am going to add 1 tablespoon of habanero powder. Okay. I am going to use 1 tablespoon of Portugal powder. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of Thai chili powder. And I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of monkey face pepper powder. Now the nice thing with this is you can use any powders you want. You can have a combination of just 4 tablespoons of Reaper powder, or 2 tablespoons of habanero powder, 2 tablespoons of ghost pepper powder, whatever you want, but this you can combine it any way you want to just to have 4 total tablespoons. So now with that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of granulated garlic. Okay. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. Okay. I'm adding a ½ teaspoon of ground black pepper. And I'm adding a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay, and that is actually all our dry ingredients there. Now what we're going to do is add 3/4 cup of vinegar. You can use any kind of vinegar you want in this recipe. In this one, I'm actually using a rice wine vinegar. I'm sorry, not a rice wine vinegar, but just a regular rice vinegar. And I'm going to use 3/4 cup. Okay. I'm also going to use 1 cup of water. I want to go ahead, get this mixed up. Okay. And we're going to go ahead at this point and move it over to the stove. Now we're going to bring it over here to the stove. I'm going to go ahead and turn the burner on high. I'm going to bring this up to a boil real fast. And then I'm going to turn it down and simmer it for a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes until everything kind of melts together. But this is what I'm going to do at this point, and let's wait for it to get up to a boil. Now I got this coming up to a nice boil here. I'm going to stir it here real fast. I'm going to turn it down to low, and I'm going to put on the lid at this point and let this thing simmer for a good 10-15 minutes. Now it's been about roughly 15 minutes and I have been stirring every so often just to make everything's good here. And this is actually smelling really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this off the heat, let this cool down. we'll give it a taste and bottle it up. All right, now that we got this and everything cooled down, most important thing we need to do is give it a taste test. So I can taste the Thai chilies and everything right off the bat. This thing with those peppers and the everything, it gets a nice kick and everything to it. But besides the kick, I get the garlic powder and the onion and everything still in with the heat. So very, very full flavor on this. Really, really nice. Now, the nice thing about this and the recipe is this is the one I actually came up with, and this is actually the 4th version because I tried different recipes to see what I actually like. But you can actually use different powders if you want to. If you just have cayenne powder, use that. Habanero powder, you can use that. You don't have to use the same powders I used, and you don't have to use the same ingredients. Overall, for a basic recipe, you just need 4 tablespoons of powder, a ½ cup of vinegar, ½ cup of water, and an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Anything else you add to it, that'll let you customize it and add anything you want. Besides just like the dry ingredients I use with the garlic, the onion, the cumin, you can actually add fruit, add pineapple in this. You can add a couple blueberries. Whatever you want to, kind of go ahead and make it your own. But that is that. We'll go ahead and let's bottle this up. I like the taste. Now that you got this bottled up, just go ahead, just keep this in the refrigerator and use it as you need it. But there you go, simple hot sauce recipe out of that. So, but with that, if you enjoyed what you've seen here today, please subscribe to the channel. It does help me out greatly. You can also follow me on a bunch of my social medias, or you can actually head to my website down here below. There I actually sell seeds out of my garden. Plus I do sell a bunch of my dried spices and seasonings from the peppers that I grow in the garden. So shameless promotion there, but visit the site, see if there's anything that interests you. But other than that, I want to say thank you all very much, and you have yourself a very, very good day.